Good morning. It's morning. Yes, fellow Bees Books members, how are you all? I think it's 9 a.m. where you are, or 2 p.m. in the UK, and it is 1 a.m. here in Australia, which, that's fine. I stay up late all the time. Huge congratulations to Shelby Rhodes for her milestone membership. I think it's way exceeded it now, hasn't it? It's much more than 500. I think we're probably 600. I don't know. I really should have checked this out before I opened my mouth. And for the re-release of Adrian's Bodyguard. Huge congratulations on that. And thank you so much for inviting me to celebrate here. And thank you to Eleanor for inviting me along as well, which is very, very nice of you, especially given these amazing authors that, I'm mingling with here in this e-party environment. So I won't rabbit on for hours because, there's going to be a lot of authors and we've got a very, very strict, half hour sort of thing. So I just talk a little bit about the books, and I've put a post there just with the minor details and the giveaway, and I've scheduled that to come on kind of while I'm blabbing away, 9:20 a.m. US time or something like that. If you haven't heard me, harping on all around here, I'm Colin Derham, and I write gay fiction that's got a lot of romantic elements to it. So it's, got all of the kind of passion and drama and, hand wringing and all that sort of thing. And lots of the bad, naughty sex stuff in it, loads of it. I tend to always write realism. So it's very much slice of life, regular people, kind of warts and all, people that have conflicts and dramas and, emotional and relationship difficulties and that sort of thing, struggling with mental health issues like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, that sort of thing. And they all revolve around very physical, loving and sexual gay relationships. So 2 or more men. So some of them have been poly, most of them I think have ended up, they're pretty much MM, as in 2 men, maybe a little bit of, bits sort of group bits in there, mutual, experiences between a couple. And so the first book that it wasn't the first book that came out, but was Hound. And for some reason my publisher put this one out a little bit after the second book. But it's basically, this is one that deals with bipolar disorder. So, and for the first time ever, all of these parties, I have a full set of books. I can't believe it. It took months, but all my matching covers are here. All my nice burly men with their beards. We like beards. Well, I do. And somebody on Goodreads said that this cover was scary, but you know what? I think he's hot. Anyway, this is Hound, and it's about an artist represented by this model, a big, burly, red-headed bear who is an artist living with bipolar disorder. And he has never had a relationship, but he's now kind of at a turning point. He's turned 40. He meets an American man that he is head over heels in love with instantly. Now, this is a size different novel. So he is a great big bear that's 6'4" tall, and he meets a little 5'6" otter of a man. And so big man, little man sort of thing. And it's those size dynamics that lead to a lot of very fun and experimental exploits in many locations in the book. And the main conflict being that this man that he's met, he's finally found someone he's wildly in love with. This man is not the relationship type, has had very abusive relationships in the past and has ruled them out for years. And so there's a lot of anguish and deterioration in his mental health, because while this man seems to be incredibly loving towards him, he won't commit. So it does have a very nice happy ending, and there's a prequel and another related story that are in another sort of anthology that I've written, but that's Hound. So that's quite it's a 300-page book. The next book I had that my publisher put out first, but it is actually chronologically after that, is this one called The Lookout. That's a novella, so it's 149 pages or something, and it's about a gorgeous teddy bear of a man whose best friend gets married and moves to Melbourne, and so he's got to rent out the other rooms in his flat at Bondi, because Bondi's a very, very trendy beachside area, and it costs a lot of money to even get an old apartment there, rent. I mean, but forget buying it. I mean, Australia is ridiculously expensive. And so I forgot to mention, so these are all, it's the Bondi Bears series. It's kind of loose, all the books. It's not one of those ones where one leads on to the other type series. They're all separate stories, but there are some crossover characters, but just separate incidents. Not sort of, you need to know what happened here to be able to understand that. Anyway, so these guys all move in together, and there's this massive insta-lust, as in they have a wild summer. He has a very, very big bed, and they make the most of it, and other locations too. But one of the three guys has kept a big secret, and it causes everything to fall apart in spectacular fashion. It's harrowing. There are trigger warnings, and when I say it deals with serious mental health issues, that's what I mean. It's kind of a bit of, but that's The Lookout. And now I'm looking for the third one. So the third one that came about, I'd actually written a prequel for a quick promo. It was only 2 weeks long. And afterwards, I didn't really want to release it by itself on Amazon. Some authors did. They just released their short. But because it was only 70 pages or something, I wanted a book that was sort of more than double. So I think it was like, this is 168 pages because I combined 3 novellas together, sort of short novellas. And they all revolve around the emotional impact of casual sex and hookups on gay men. Because, there are different dynamics there. Where there's not the same, I guess, like established traditions as there are with a lot of, male-female relationships. The society sees it differently. And this kind of explores that now. So it's not purely erotica. And this has been pointed out to me in a couple of instances. I do delve into the emotional state these men are in, the things that they want, the things they desire, the insecurities that are going on in them. And also, intrinsically, they like to find someone to love. And they're fighting these demons, within themselves to open themselves up to that. So whilst there is lots and lots of rumpy-pumpy, it does delve into that emotional side of it as well. So they're kind of 3 power novels, like 70 pages and 40 pages or something. So, like sit down for an hour with a cup of tea or a gin and tonic and you can knock one off. And they're pretty typical of what I've written. So the whole kind of gritty realism. that's that one. And now the last one that I'm really excited about now, because it's kind of doing little ripples on Amazon, you know, like, oh wow, it's so exciting. And you know, I can kind of log onto the new release chart and go, oh wow, I'm in the top 10 in several countries on the new releases for, you know, gay, lit, fit, whatever they call them in that country. So that's really, really awesome. And this is Nervous Kid, and it's about two teenagers. They're from kind of a rough upbringing, and they have this taboo affair, and the family falls apart. It's just a huge family breakdown. There's a big rift, and 20 years later, they meet by chance, and they get a second go at finding the happiness together. But a lot of really bad stuff has happened to them in that time. One of them has had some horrible grief and loss issues. The other one has had a lot of struggles with their sexuality. So I'm trying to, it's kind of a fairly realistic take on the we have the gay for you trope. This is more exploring bisexuality, and how he has struggled with that, even as a teenager, with curiosity, and then having the teenage affair with the other guy, and still having a very heterosexual side to him that he then retreats into after this loss. So he fights that, and he tries to keep the gay side of his sexuality suppressed, and then eventually meets a woman that he falls in love with, and they have a child. But as can happen with some bisexual couples, and it becomes very difficult to suppress that side of their sexuality. So they can really love their partner, and be, you know, devoted to them, but and this is not for everyone. Some people just go, this is it. This is, you know, this is it for me. And then other people might find that they're suppressing something and they just can't do it any longer. So this is kind of from his perspective. Anyhow, they deal with all of that and, you know, go through a real roller coaster. But that one's very happy at the end too. Like, very, you know, it's a very lovely, happy ending. Anyway, that's those four. And I've probably gone on for a really long time. I'm going to have a look at some of these comments. Shelby. Oh, hello, Shelby. Yes, emotions. I get comments sort of like, I'm never going to forgive you for this. I'm still crying, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's really good. I like visceral reactions. I'm not being a torturer. You know what I mean, guys? I get over emotional when I have to read them. I'm just, anyway. You attacking us with your voice and just you. Yes, my voice. This is late at night, so it's kind of normal. When I have to do these early in the morning, I'm sort of, hey, you know, talking like this. I can't even fake it, but it sounds like I've just downed a quart of whiskey for, you know, 10 years every day. There's all these lovely people, and I'm so blind, I can't even like read your names. I'm so happy you came. Ines Mari. Anyway, well, you know, it's lovely to see you. And, oh God, Eleanor. Oh, yes. Lovely to see you, Eleanor. I can't really see the comments, sorry. I'm squinting away really badly, but you all know this boring old story that I've got less than 10%, probably like 7% eyesight. Oh, yes, Marianson. Lovely to see you here. You did say you might make it. I'm so glad that you did, because it is a Tuesday, and a lot of people are, you know, getting ready for work and all that sort of thing, aren't you? Look, I won't bore you any longer. I've been here for a really long time. What is it? 1:16. Oh, actually, no, it's only been 15. I'm actually on time. So with the giveaway, it's just like people, you know, I'll draw people to just whichever one they like, you know, feel like reading. So I've just put like a little 1-sentence power blurb there so you can remember what I was talking about. And also there'll be people that don't really want to listen to me rabbit on for 15, 20 minutes, you know, and this, you know, they might just see this video and go, who's that idiot? Get lost. And you can just read my little power comments in the post with a little 1 sentence about each book, and post a picture, and then, you know, whenever Shelby's the boss, so whenever Shelby says we have to draw it, we draw it. And that's usually what, I think last time Shelby let me into her group to do this chat, it was Wednesday US that we had to draw it. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful night. I'm so glad that you came to see me. Very, very nice of you all. And I look forward to, you know, coming and joining you all again. I'm going to stick around for probably an hour as well here, so I can actually be at the party and before I go to bed, and, you know, because it's late. And thank you to Eleanor and Shelby again. Congratulations on the re-release and the blossoming group. And I shall speak to you all from the keyboard. Have a lovely night.